Thanks for tuning in to Airshow Sports. This is Eric Cantu coming at you live from sunny Southern California, and it's divisional weekend as the LA Rams will take on the Green Bay Packers to start us off.
That's right, Cantu. It's going to be a good one. Real good games this weekend.
As we now take a look at, we're live, we're finally on camera, Kirk, and just thank you to the viewers tuning in for this divisional weekend, Kirk. Big weekend of football. As you see us sporting the Ram gear right now, just moments away from the first divisional game. And Kirk, your team's not in it, but we got a big one with the Rams, and you're sporting the Aaron Donald jersey.
That's right. That's right. Aaron Donald, Pittsburgh guy. So we're making the Pittsburgh connection on this. He's from Pittsburgh, played for one of the best high schools in Pittsburgh, Penn Hills, University of Pittsburgh. The colder it gets, the meaner he's going to get, the better he's going to get. It's going to be the Aaron versus Aaron show, and I think Aaron Donald is just going to win that one, and perhaps Aaron Rodgers is just going to see a lot of this number 99. I do need some shoulder pads for this shirt, indeed, but it's going to be a great, great game.
It's going to be a great game. You got the prolific and dynamic offense with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and then one of the best defenses in the league in the Rams. But, Kirk, we're not here just to talk about the Rams game. We got a slate of divisional matchups, 4 games this weekend, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. And we're starting it off with the LA Rams against the Packers. Then it's going to be Baltimore against the Buffalo Bills later tonight. Tomorrow we'll open up Cleveland, goes on the road to take on Kansas City. And Tampa faces New Orleans on the road, a game in which they got beat up pretty badly to open the year. Kirk, what are you looking for in this divisional weekend?
I have to say that I kind of went into last weekend with a lot of conventional thinking in which teams were going to win and think, but I think I neglected to really consider, and maybe some others neglected to consider, no preseason this year. I think what we're seeing now is teams peaking as they usually do going into the playoffs, where we're already into our second week now. So the conventional thing is that you do have real great wild card matchups. The next week the divisional teams always win. Usually, you might get one wild card team to win. This week's going to be good because we've got teams actually peaking at different times now, and I actually just didn't think about that. So, I think this week the Browns are going to give us an exciting game, but I just don't think they're going to be able to handle the Chiefs. I think the Ravens are probably the best wild card shot here besides the Rams. I'm taking the Rams in this game because I just think they are going to be just a better defensive team. I think the Rams' running game is just going to control the ball, and that's how you win games. Control the ball on offense, just put up your best defense. And there is one more Pennsylvania connection. Troy Hill for the Rams. We have another guy who grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, which is actually
Number 22.
number 22, from nearer to where I'm actually from than Pittsburgh. Grew up in the cold, so again, no problem here. Go ahead, Cantu. Sorry.
Good deal. Just a great slate of matchups this weekend, and so many different storylines in the Breeze versus Brady matchup. That's going to be a big one. Mahomes against the Cleveland Browns and the running game, and Baker Mayfield, who can put up points and really see if that's going to be a shootout. That game should turn up for a big shootout, as both of those guys played each other in the Big 12. That's Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes. Mayfield got the best of them at Oklahoma. Intriguing matchup in that one. And then obviously Baltimore against Buffalo. And that's a 50-50 matchup in my opinion. I think that game could go either way. And I think the difference in that one's going to be whose defense steps up better. Lamar Jackson showed last week that he can take what the defense gives him, and not so much you could say he was a game manager, but he still was able to be dynamic with his feet, Kirk. I like to see him stay with that mindset so he can just get first downs, score points in the red zone, and not turn the ball over against the Bills.
Yes, I think they are the wild card that has, a real good shot this week. I think this weekend you usually get one. I think this weekend we're going to get two. I think the Ravens definitely have a great shot. Lamar Jackson has shown that he can win now in the postseason. That's probably just done exponentially for his mindset. So yeah, we're going to get a great game there. I think too, the Ravens defense is now starting to peak better. And if you asked me, the Buffalo Bills walked a little bit last week. So I think this is going to be your other wild card win. You're going to get the Rams winning, and we're going to get the Ravens winning.
So you're picking the Ravens in that matchup? Correct?
Absolutely. No problem with cold weather. No problem with it being nighttime. Cold weather today for the Rams. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all.
I still want to see if Allen, the quarterback for the Bills, is going to embrace that quarterback in that leadership position in the playoffs, in the crunch time. I think his game against Tennessee, he did fairly well, but I still am reluctant to put all my chips in on Allen. I still feel like he's relatively inexperienced and unproven in the playoffs. So I think the Baltimore pick is actually it's a hot pick right now.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Jackson, he's ready. He's ready to win, and the coach, you don't hold him back for very long.
All right, I'm going with the Ravens, Kirk. 24-13.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a good margin.
Good pick. Moving on, let's go straight to it. Kansas City at home against the Cleveland Browns. What are you looking for in this one, Kirk?
I'm looking to just see the Chiefs just be the team that they are. I don't think they've dialed it down yet this season. I think they will just continue. They're one team that just pretty much didn't really change since the Super Bowl win last year, and so they've just consistently played this year, consistently played well, and that's going to be the game. It'll be exciting for a while. Baker Mayfield's fun. The Browns are fun, but I just don't see
final score in that one, Kirk.
Oh, you're looking probably 35 to maybe 10, 14.
Oh, you think it's going to be a blowout at home?
Yeah. The Chiefs are just going to be the Chiefs.
That might be a good pick on that. And a home blowout for the Chiefs. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 45-35. 45-35. I'll give the Browns a little more respect. They'll put some points on the board. Kansas City's not relatively the most stout defense out there. So Cleveland will score. They'll stay competitive, but Kansas City will pull away in the second half.
Sounds good.
Next, moving on. Before we go to the official Rams pick from you, Kirk, obviously I know you picked them. We're going to pick them. We're wearing Rams jerseys.
That's right.
But Tampa against New Orleans, one of the other intriguing matchups, the old quarterbacks, the all-time greats,
MVPs.
Drew Brees and Tom Brady, going to go head-to-head.
That's
in
right.
a divisional matchup. Wow.
It's going to be exciting. Again, you're going to have just a great game. Both of these guys are competitors. They're going to compete until the final second. So this is a tough one to pick. This is a very tough one to pick. But I think in the end, Tom Brady is just always, you just have to bet on Tom Brady. Not that we're betting.
Most definitely. So Kirk's going to go Brady on that. I think in this one, we're going to look to see, for one, Alvin Kamara just got back into the Saints lineup last week, so it was good for him to get his feet wet after being on the COVID list. He's a crucial point to their offense, both in the passing game and in the running game. Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to be able to at least contain him, bottle him up? You're not going to completely shut him down, but can the Bucs do enough to keep the Saints offense out of the end zone and allow Brady to run his game, run his style? He's got plenty of weapons. I think if Tampa controls the ball and scores when they're inside the red zone, they're going to have a great shot, because Brady's the perfect style of quarterback to run that, and he knows how to keep the other defense off the field, just get first downs. So that's the key to victory for Tampa. I think they're going to need to control the ball. They're going to need to take advantage of any turnovers they get, and they got to just contain Kamara and that Saints offense. That's a lot to ask, but
it sounds great. I just Brady is going to be difficult to beat. You're just not going to beat Tom Brady.
Final score on that, Kirk?
Love Brees. Love him. Love everything about him. This is going to be your shootout. This is going to be the one that's going to be like maybe like 45-42 all the way until the end. Brady with one of his famous,
class.
or just like 24-21. I mean, if the defenses step up,
So
but it's going to
be a tight one.
a final drive. Tom Brady, epic.
Good deal. I'm actually going to go with the Saints, Kirk. I like their offense, and I think their defense has improved from last year. They actually have one of the top defenses in the league. So I think they're going to do enough to put pressure on Brady. And I got the Saints because they're at home and because they've proven they could beat Tampa at home. Obviously, this game could go either way. It's a 50-50 matchup. I respect you for picking Tampa, Kirk, but I'm going to go with the Saints.
Hey, no
28-25.
Okay. I like it. Is it time to get Carlos in?
No, let's go back to this last game.
Oh yeah,
Before we get
Rams.
Carlos
Final Rams.
Just a final take on the Rams, Kirk, as we're about half hour, 45 minutes away from kickoff in Lambeau. Right. Rams traveling on the road, divisional matchup, very intriguing. I think obviously we're going to pick the Rams, Kirk, but what are you looking for from an unbiased standpoint?
Running game for the Rams to just work as it has. It has nothing but gotten better. Like the last 8 weeks just has done nothing but get better. And so looking for that to work for the Rams. And again, Aaron Rodgers is going to see a lot of this shirt in his face
Kirk,
today.
Lift up that 99 a little higher.
A little higher, yeah. Because I need those shoulder pads. I need those shoulder pads. But yeah, it's he might not get all the sacks, but I was looking at his stats. He has like something like 35 hurries on, or like touches on the quarterback this year. Something like 26 tackles for loss. And I think he has 13 sacks on the season. So, and he too. Cold weather, he's just going to get better. So yeah, again, this is going to be a good game.
What's your final count on that one, Chris?
This might be like 17-14, 17-10. This might be truly just a grind it out. Maybe not a lot of points on the board.
Definitely. So people who are trying to put a wager, if you're out there looking, that's a hint at the under. But we'll see. Anything could happen in the playoffs. Pretty good breakdown, Kirk. I like the way you're thinking. Because this does figure to be more of a defensive matchup with the top defense in the league and the Rams. And, Goff with the broken finger last week showed a lot of heart.
Oh, absolutely.
Is he going to be able to replicate what he did last week in a colder place? Some questions there. But from reports I've heard over the week, Goff seems like he's getting more comfortable every day in practice.
Absolutely. In fact, again, we have the advantage of having the Los Angeles media, and saw a great interview with him yesterday. Basically, he said that he and the coach actually had words about him not starting last week, and he had a chip on his shoulder about that. And when he came in, he had something to prove, and he did. So he's looking forward to this game. The finger or the thumb, he doesn't even consider it, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Kirk's going to go tight, close, defensive showdown.
Yes.
I'm going to go with a very competitive, back and forth game in which the Rams pull away at the end thanks to their defense. They make a stop crucial. I'm going to go the Rams 30-23.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a few points scored.
All right. Sounds good.
So thanks for tuning in to Airshow. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. And also subscribe to the channel. We're going to come at you back from break. I got my boy Carlos who's going to give his official takes on this weekend's divisional matchups. Stay tuned. Airshow Sports. Make sure you subscribe. We got the hottest content coming at you. NFL football talk right now. I got my boy Carlos Arredondo, former wide receiver at Sure High School and East Los Angeles College, and later Henderson State University. Carlos, you got a lot of insight on the sport and intellect. What are you looking for in going into this divisional weekend?
I'm definitely looking forward to some more great football. We had a great wild card weekend. I think the divisional games are great matchups. You got, obviously, I'm going for my Rams. They're going head to head with Green Bay up at Lambeau Field, and then the next game you got the Bills going at it with the Ravens, which is going to be another tough matchup. You got two good teams in the NFC, two good teams in the AFC, and then for tomorrow's games you got the Browns going to Kansas City, which I think is going to be a brutal game for Kansas City, and then to finish it off, I think the Bucks, they're going into New Orleans, and you know what, beating a team 3 times is going to be a tough task, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Good deal. Keep it locked. We're going to jump right into it. Before we get to the Rams game, let's break down this Baltimore against the Bills game, Carlos. Get specific with this one. Who do you see winning, and what's your final count on that?
Baltimore, they surprised me last week. I thought Lamar Jackson getting his first victory in the playoffs was great. To get that monkey off his back. He had a lot of people, claiming that he wasn't capable of winning a playoff game and stuff like that. So I thought that was great for them. Their defense is, aggressive. They come after it. But the Bills, I think the Bills are having that season, when a team gets hot, and it's that year, connection between Josh Allen and Diggs. Oh my God, those two guys are amazing. They're fun football to watch. But we got two of the youngest quarterbacks in the league that are really getting it done with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I'm looking forward to that matchup. I know those two guys don't go at it head to head because they're both quarterbacks. But what they're going to do in order to lead their team to victory, and one team's really set on the pass game with Josh Allen, another team set on the run game with Lamar Jackson. So you got two different ways of attacking the defense. So it's going to be a matter of which defense is going to step up and take the ball away. I think that's what it's going to come down to on those games.
And who do you think is going to do that?
I think at the end of the day, the run game's gonna prevail for Baltimore. And I think Indianapolis kind of exposed the Bills, and Lamar Jackson actually is a above and beyond athlete from Phillip Rivers, so that's going to be the X factor. I think Lamar Jackson's going to take them, and he's going to lead them to the AFC Championship game.
Damn, so we got everybody on Airshow today, me, Kirk, and Carlos, all taking the Ravens in that matchup. Interesting stuff. You never know what could happen. If the Bills do it, they'll prove me wrong. Here we go. Moving on to the next one. It's going to be Kansas City against Cleveland. And this is Cleveland's first appearance in the divisional round for quite some time. Carlos, what are you looking for in this matchup?
Yeah, I think Cleveland's going in there and they're gonna pound the rock. That's their identity, and they're not gonna leave it. Nick Chubb is a monster. That guy's a bowling ball. And then when he comes out of the game, what's his name? I forget his name. What's the other running back? He was with Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas
before.
City's former running back.
Former running back
Hunt.
from Kansas City.
And that's an X factor in this game.
Absolutely, Kareem Hunt, man. That guy he's explosive. He's a little bowling ball. He's probably about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller, but they run aggressive. They run behind that offensive line. Baker Mayfield has found his groove within the offense. I think Stefanski and the offensive staff has done a great job of building the offense to fit what he's capable of doing, where he doesn't have to try to win the game. He just has to manage the game. Him and Jarvis Landry have a great connection. I think, they have what it takes to go in there and have the upset,
wow.
And take out Kansas City. But you know what? They are playing Patrick Mahomes. They are playing the NFL reigning champions. So anything can happen. But I am taking the Browns going into Kansas City and beating.
Whoa, upset pick.
Huge upset.
That's a big pick and a bold one from Carlos.
Bold.
I like the ambition. But Carlos, that's a good pick, man. Way to go out on a limb and pick somebody that nobody else is picking. Usually they say the team that is on the bye the first weekend of the playoffs doesn't lose the next round, Kirk.
That's true.
Carlos is going against the grain. And Carlos, you got some insight. I think you beat me with the Browns when I was Kansas City. So Carlos is all about the upset in Madden. But yeah, final score on that, Carlos, if the Browns are going to win.
You know, if the Browns are going to win, I think it's going to be a 33-30 game, something close. You know, they're going to have to keep Kansas City's offense off the field. But the thing is within those last 4 minutes of the game, for whatever reason, Kansas City just knows how to score points, man. So the Browns do have to have some type of a 10-point lead, you know, going into those last 4 minutes in order to give themselves that shot to win. But yeah, I'm taking the Browns in a 33-30 victory.
Good deal. Moving on. And
You keep stepping forward.
Oh, okay.
you're good.
You're excited.
So
Yeah.
we got that game is broken down, and it's a wrap on that. Now we move on to the Breeze against Brady matchup. Carlos, what's your pick on this?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's tough to beat a team 3 times, but I think I'm definitely going with that. You know, I got Drew Brees beating Tampa and Tampa Bay. You know, like a lot of people like to call it right now. So yeah, this matchup is two of the oldest quarterbacks to ever play in the playoffs. I'm super excited to watch this because, you know, since I can remember watching football, I've been watching these two guys. You know, they're going to immortalize themselves in football history. But you know, Drew Brees is my favorite quarterback of all time. I'm looking forward to it. You know, the GOAT, you know, Tom versus Drew Brees, you know, they're going at it. You know, it's going to be a tough matchup. I think, you know, final score, we're looking at a high scoring dogfight, you know, because these two teams are division opponents. And I think I want to say 35-32, 35-30, something like that.
Damn, so Kirk believes it's going to be a defensive grind in that game, and Carlos thinks it's going to be an offensive shootout. So very interesting stuff. Carlos taking New Orleans in that one. Good pick. That's my pick too. All right. Now the main event, which is moments away from starting, about half hour from kickoff. Make sure you tune in too. I believe it's on Fox. The Los Angeles Rams against the Green Bay Packers. That's our main event. And that's why we're all here. We all got the Rams jersey. Carlos is sporting his Jared Goff bone away jersey. And Carlos, you were very pro John Wolford last weekend. But after the performance that Goff put on for the Rams, where's your head at, and what do you see happening in this big divisional matchups? The Rams got to go on the road to get the win.
Well, you know, regardless who's under center, I think the game's it's definitely gonna be on the legs of our rookie running back Cam Akers and our offensive line. You know, that's been our identity since McVay has came over to the Los Angeles Rams. We are a run-first team. We are a physical football team. You know, regardless of the flash and stuff that we do behind the motions and stuff that he does behind the run game, we are a physical team. We want to run downhill. The stretch game, you know, and the play action pass that comes out of it is what sets off, you know, our receivers to come clean. You know, Goff makes some nice throws and stuff like that. But that's what we're going to rely on. I think, you know, Cam Akers in the run game. Offensively, the Rams definitely need to stay away from turnovers. We cannot have any turnovers. It has to be a clean game. You know, you cannot give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers. That's just another opportunity and you're asking to get scored on. And you're putting the defense, you know, obviously a lot of people have been talking about the number one defense going into it. A game's all about matchups. You know, the biggest matchup I'm looking for is Jalen Ramsey versus Devontae Parker, the number one wide receiver in the league. I feel like, you know, Stephon Diggs, you know, might be up there between 1A and 1B. Jalen Ramsey's without a doubt. That guy's Devontae Adams. I'm sorry, Devontae Adams. There we go.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, and Jalen Ramsey, undisputed number one corner in the league. That guy, he's taken this defense to another level with the way he you know, approaches the game and stuff like that. But you got to give it up to the Packers as well, man. They are the number one seed for a reason. They are the number one offense for a reason. You know, you got Aaron Rodgers is on man on a mission, man. He's a man on a mission. He's coming out, and I don't see why he will not give everything that he's got, because he might feel like this may be his one of his last rodeos and an opportunity where, you know, the road goes through Lambeau, and I think that team knows that. So the upset-minded Rams, you know, are coming in there with that mentality, you know, that they're both teams are going to give each other's best. Why wouldn't they? That both teams are really good, which is why they're in the playoffs. You know, I am taking the Rams. The Rams need to stay turnover-free. I am very confident with the defense. Aaron Rodgers hasn't fared well versus number one defenses in the playoffs. So, you know, like I said, going back to matchups, you know, that interior offensive line is going to end up getting a lot of one-on-one matchups with players not named Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald will be double-teamed, triple-teamed. So those guys that are getting the one-on-one matchups have to win for us. If we get home with 4 rushers, I think we'll win the game, and we run the ball well. Definitely we'll come out with a victory and a upset.
Good deal. Just want to chime in. Shout out to Coach Capetillo for tuning into Airshow. Go Pack Go. He's a Packer fan. And my old former teammate, Shanedu, from Southern Utah, former linebacker. He's a big Saints fan. He's telling me that the Saints worked the Bucs earlier in the season. He thinks it's going to be a wider margin. Saints have one of the best defenses of the season. He thinks the Rams win as well. Thanks for tuning in, Shanedu. And yeah, so Carlos, did you get a final score on that Rams?
Yeah, final score, I got the Rams winning 27-24. It just kind of like last week, Russell Wilson was the talk, you know, that he was going to do this and that, and we had just lost to the Seahawks. And I see Russell Wilson as a, you know, more capable runner than Aaron Rodgers. So like I said, we got home with 4, and that's been our identity, you know, rush 4, play the back end, coverage. And I think that's going to be our recipe to go ahead and come out with an upset victory in Lambeau.
27-24, a good pick. And obviously I'm picking the Rams, but I think it's going to be a defensive showdown. But I had it 30-23. Carlos says 27-24. And I believe Kirk picked the upset as well. The Rams. 45-42, I think. No, I think that was the game you said that the Rams is going to be a close, gritty defensive matchup. It could go either way, but the Rams are going to pull it out because they got the defense. And I saw a stat, just to wrap it up on this, that this is the number 1 corner going up against statistically and logistically the best receiver production-wise in the league in Devontae Adams. So that Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Adams is number 1 versus number 1 in the league right now, people. So you better tune into this one. Go to Fox right now. We're about 20 minutes away from the kickoff. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. And we're going to come at you with some hotter content on the next weekend. And hopefully my Rams are still in it. Let's get it.